Ahoy everyone, this is David Eugene Perry in the Zoom room, and I'm very excited because we are going to be speaking with the cast members for the new opening show for the much anticipated rebirth of Dezart Performs here in the Coachella Valley in Palm Springs, their first ever musical, the first outdoor show for them, and the first time, I believe, the two cast members have actually been married to each other. So please welcome to the Zoom room, Kyle Hester and Eddie Vona. Welcome.
Ahoy.
Ahoy. So for those who don't know about the show Girlfriend, give us a quick synopsis and why it's interesting that a husband and husband are playing the two leads.
Well, the story is about two kids who just graduated high school. They are both gay, but don't know it. So throughout the course of the show, they kind of discover that about each other and what that means for them.
And it all revolves around, on the last day of school, I make a mixtape of this musician I really like, who's Matthew Sweet, whose songs are featured at the musical. And I give it to him and I'm like, we should hang out sometime.
And I agree.
Yeah.
So what is it like being on stage with your husband playing a couple?
Well, honestly, it's a little weird at first because I know Kyle so well as Kyle. So it's an extra little challenge to do the work of imagining him as someone that I do not know very well and that I'm actually a little intimidated of and nervous to be around.
Yeah. I think it's the trade-off of what it usually is in a cast, right? Where like you show up and you have a bunch of people that usually don't know each other, and you have to work very quickly to try and make that sense of intimacy happen. So we kind of have it's not a problem, but we have an opposite challenge. So we can I think towards the end of the show, as they do become more intimate, then that's where it becomes really fun that we do have a common language that we speak and that we know how to finish each other's
sandwiches.
Oh man. And so, but towards the beginning of the show is where it gets a little strange to kind of pretend like I'm nervous around it.
Right. Now, have you both appeared together in a show before, or is this a first?
We have appeared in a show before. Yeah. In college, we were in a musical called Lucky Stiff by Flaherty and Ahrens. But our characters pretty much did not talk to each other the entire show. So
I played like an old Italian man, and he was like
an optometrist.
Yeah. And I tried to get the director to change the script so that they fell in love with each other, but
didn't work.
Didn't work. So tell me a little bit about the characters. Eddie, what is your character like?
My character, Will, is a little bit of an outcast in school. He's more, I would say, presents more as gay, so he gets made fun of a little bit. But at the same time, he's also a little more sure of himself than Kyle's character in terms of being gay and who he is. He kind of helps Kyle's character come to be more comfortable with himself as well. I think that's what Will gives Mike.
Yeah, this all takes place in a really small town in Nebraska. So it's still and in the early 90s, so it's still, as it is in many places still today, that it's very dangerous to be out. But I think for that environment and that time, you're comparatively out, whatever that means. And I'm playing Mike, who is the jock of the, I think you said, what am I for?
Football, prom king.
Maybe first runner up, but
yeah.
So my character just has created a persona, right, in high school that has a lot of currency to have all those social values. So he has, for himself, he has a lot more to lose, and he's a lot more afraid of anybody finding out anything about what he actually wants from his life and who he wants to be and who he is.
Right. I remember, although it's been 41 years ago, being in high school, I was very much not the cool kid, but also still trying to figure out if I was gay. I had a girlfriend, and Meg, thankfully, was really cool. So he saved me. So I learned to be funny, or tried to be. And my cousin Peter, who was very much the high school jock, he liked music and I played piano. So between my jock cousin and my girlfriend, I survived. But it was hard coming out during high school. Has this play brought up any memories for either of you about coming out?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. We were actually just talking yesterday, since when we came out was much later, not much later, but later than this show takes place, and a lot has changed. So we were trying to, remember what it was like when we came out.
What it's like to come out in a small town before, now, like, being gay, again, obviously it's still dangerous in lots of places, but being gay was like, there's like a chance that like you might be surrounded by people who are like, being gay is cool. Like, oh, I saw this character on TV, I saw this. And that's why, media representation is obviously so important. But I think when we came out, which we I made it just sound like we
didn't know each other.
But it was just the beginning of that time where you could see gay people on TV, you could read about queer people in books or movies, and so you had sort of something to like reference to, but it still felt pretty. I felt very ashamed and very scared for most of high school. It wasn't until I like left for college that I really found my identity in that.
And Cal, where was that? Where are you from, and where was your coming out?
I grew up in
place,
Santa Barbara area. Yeah, so I'm a California baby.
And how about you, Eddie?
I grew up in Hollywood, Florida. So it's a pretty metropolitan area. So again, I did, but I went to a Catholic school, so that felt isolating in itself too, because you didn't really want to be out there. But luckily, as opposed to the characters in the play, I had a lot of media to look for. There was Will and Grace on TV. Ellen was already such a huge influence and things like that. So comparatively to these characters, I feel lucky actually for when I came out.
Right. So these two characters didn't have that benefit. I mean, not to cast aspersions against Nebraska, but it's not Hollywood, Florida, or Santa Barbara near Hollywood, California. What do these two characters go through? Are they teased? Are they abused? How do they manage high school, which is not the easiest of times, even if you're not a minority?
No, my character for sure alludes in the play to getting pinned down, having, words written across his forehead in permanent marker and things like that. So I think he goes through such a harder time outwardly than Kyle's character.
Yeah. I mean, I think you can suffer a lot of scary abuse things. Yeah, that unfortunately maybe are pretty common. My struggle is all, I mean, it can be just as damaging emotionally and mentally. That's all internal for me, I think, in terms of feeling like you have to split yourself in half, right? And you have a part of you that never sees the light of day and is only exists alone, and you have a public part of you that is the acceptable, good part of you. And I think a lot of people can relate to that, gay or not. Like, there's a lot of things that parents, society, teachers ask us to do that is, I think that's why the show is so relatable in that way. It's not just about being gay.
Right. So what is it like being in a musical? Or is this a stretch for the two of you or not?
We both sing, but neither of us has been in a musical for a while.
It's a blast, though.
It is really fun.
Well, because we love to sing, so we are always. This is very nerdy, sorry, but we are always just doing little harmonies on our own, finding something in a Sondheim musical and working on it together. So we definitely love, and now we get to do it for everyone.
Yeah,
so
it's really fun to juggle so many different things. Like, we're used to just acting, but when you throw in music and the band and dancing, it's just so much fun.
Yeah.
Rock and roll. Yeah. So these two characters meet in high school. How did the two of you meet? Are we able to tell this?
Sure,
You're good at telling the story.
So we met in our freshman year of college. We were both acting students. So we, as freshmen, we had to do tech for a senior show. It's sort of like a rite of passage. That's how they got people to do that. So we ended up on the same show. I was lights, he was sound. So we met that way. We were in the booth for like a week, and by the end of the week, I asked him to go to a movie. So,
But neither. No, well, actually, it's very similar to the show. Oh my god, I'm just realizing
yeah,
I knew you were gay.
right. But I didn't know Kyle was gay because he was so much more quiet, like Mike. So I had to discover over the course of the week.
So what was the movie?
We were supposed to see Across the Universe. Remember that one with the Beatles music?
Yeah, it was sold out, so we saw 3:10 to Yuma instead.
Yeah, very romantic.
I just sort of remembered thinking, like, should I hold his hand, like, as like people getting riddled with bullets?
Yeah, it was odd but funny.
So what would you like the audience to take away from seeing Girlfriend? I mean, Dezart Performs, of course, has a stellar reputation. I mean, Eddie, I don't think any of us will ever forget you with the puppet on your hand. It has never done a musical. It's also a stretch for Michael Shaw and everyone involved with Dezart Performs. And of course, coming out of COVID, knock wood, this is quite a big deal. I think it's going to be very emotional for a lot of people to be seeing a stage production again and being outside. It's really quite unique. What do you want audiences to take away from this truly unique experience for Coachella Valley Theater?
I think the last song in the show is called I Wanted to Tell You, but a big theme that comes up is do just what you want to, do what you want to do. I think that's what I hope people come away with. You know, I think the play is about a lot of fear that these characters have about what other people will think of them or what they can or cannot do. And I think if COVID has taught us anything, it's that time is precious and the people around you are precious. So I hope people walk away thinking that they can do what they want to do.
And I mean, how about you, Kyle?
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
But also, I really just hope that people walk into the outdoor space and remember like how wonderful and joyous live theater is, because I know this is both of our first shows since everything. A show was canceled in 2020 for me that I was about to do. You know, it's like for performers, for audiences, I hope that everyone just loves to be there and keeps wanting to come back, because it's such a special thing that is
right. Well, without giving away the plot, do we get an onstage kiss?
Your eye out.
Yeah.
We have been speaking to Kyle and Eddie, husband and cast members for the upcoming musical, a premiere for Dezart Performs of Palm Springs. Any closing thoughts before we sign off?
Just that I'm so excited to be back. This is my hand to God, like you said, was my last show before the pandemic started, and this is my first show as the pandemic as theater is back. Yeah. So I think it's awesome to be back at Dezart, and I hope everybody comes and sees it.
Well, we look forward to seeing you both on stage. This is David Perry speaking with Kyle and Eddie. We'll see you at Girlfriend. Ahoy.
Ahoy.